You think our vote counts when they out counting the checks? Check your 6 for the 12, but it's 5 for the feds. And if you start thinking different, then they'll ply you with meds. Give you a phone, let social media supply you with stress. So go apply for the check. The cash is just the cash and we're all walking dead. The cash is just the cash and we're all walking. I shouldn't say it. Still, I'm just a victim of material systems. I try to stay away from rapping about materialism, but my pride, I can't deny that. I look into my daughter's eyes and money can't buy that.
Whoever sees this and subscribes right now will get free Armageddon. Hey, relax. It's not the end of the world. What's going on, YouTube? It's Wally Knox Hill, and we are back. We're back with our reaction series. So today, man, listen, I've dug through the vault because there's a video I feel needs to be shared with you guys. There is an artist that we have not done on this channel, and it is absolutely criminal. Because he is one of the most creative, underrated, unique artists that has come to hip-hop and that MCs and is doing it at an incredibly high level. So right here, right now, we're going to make some history. This, for the first time, is Aesop Rock. Kind of trippy. Wither by the watering hole. What in the W alliteration is happening? But just like buttery gold. I wasn't ready for Aesop just to go straight into attack mode. But that's what we get with the multi-syllable rhyme schemes. And already, man, we got to process this. I think what I'm going to do is, right, because Aesop Rock is just a different type of character altogether. I'm going to try to listen to the verse all the way through, right, to get the thematic, like, bigger picture. And see if I can start like connecting some of the symbolism, and then we'll dive into going back through and try to do more of a dissection of stuff, because I just don't know how to attack this dude, man. Let's see. This is the first time, and I love just that like turntablism, just sort of the scratch. I'm trying just bouncing kind of all over the mix, man. Love just like that hip hop core to it all.
Flash that buttery gold, jittery zeitgeist, wither by the watering hole. Water patrol, water we the heart, how could be art? Suddenly, not enough young in his lung for the water wing. Colorfully vulgar poacher at a mulch like I'm a put a post at a soldier and bolt. Sign of the time we elapse when a primate climb up a spine and attach. Eye for an eye by the bog life, swamps and vines to get a rise out of frogs and flies. The winner tour fights, hog-tied prize, sort of cost to life. The mouse water on a fork and knife, and the allure isn't right. No score on a war-torn beach where the cash cows actually beef. Blood turns wine when a leap for police like that's not a riot, it's a feast. Let's and I will remember your name.
Interesting. So we had war-torn beach, which makes me think of like D-Day and the beaches of D-Day. There's a lot of play off of that. Eye for an eye, the violence, the police, let's feast. So we're like feasting on violence. So like war and violence is a theme throughout that first verse. Now let's try to like just dissect this a little bit further and see where we go with our boy. Anybody ever read like Aesop's Fables? Right? And there was a lot of symbolism to those, and those stories served as like metaphors. That to me is what Aesop Rock is, right? He's a very metaphorical, very symbolic writer. There's a lot of intricacy, a lot of detail to what he does within his lyricism. You could sit here and just like break things down and speculate on them and extrapolate things all day long. That's the beauty of his writing and his style. All right. Flash that buttery gold, jittery zeitgeist. I love, again, how that just rolls off the tongue. But zeitgeist, like captivating the period or pulse of our time. Also, have you ever seen the movie Zeitgeist? If you haven't, go watch that. Just go blow up your mind for a little bit. Buttery gold to me is important because butter can melt. That melting gold, buttery, so it doesn't last long, right? Interesting putting gold in that way because it has like a sheen like butter, but also if you think about it buttery in terms of like food terms, it gets consumed, the consumption of commerce, but it's not something you can take with you and something that has a longer lasting value really when our lives are ending. So there's a little bit of like critique on, to me, materialism at the start of this. I wonder if this is an overall, it feels like there's a few things happening, whether it's a societal critique, because we got the Huckabee bars and the politician lines that I caught. So there could be relating to politics and critiquing like politicians taking us to war and just kind of that cycle of violence and what goes on for profits there versus like what happens within Flash That Buttery Gold within society and pop culture and the music industry and what they try to sell to us as material.
That buttery gold, jittery zeitgeist, wither by the watering hole, water patrol, water we the
What are we to Heart Huckabee? What was that movie with Mark Wahlberg? I Heart Huckabees, right? And they try to help you with your existentialism and your existential crisis, right? I Heart Huckabees, but then also Huckabee relating to the politician. That gives me the political tones, right? By the watering hole.
What are we to Heart Huckabee? Suddenly, not enough young and as long for the water wing. Colorfully vulgar poacher at a mulch like I'm a
Not enough young in his lungs for the water wings. So like blow up. So you think about water wings. And the way that he puts that, like to like fly away, you think like literal water wings are also playing off of like floaties, like flotation devices to keep you floating within life. So he's too old, like he can't blow into it. This could be like an old politician, right? He doesn't have those youthful lungs to keep like blowing it up.
Suddenly, not enough young and as long for the
And then the watering hole can make you think of like the buttery gold and like making money, making it
water
rain.
wing. Colorfully vulgar poacher at a mulch like I'm a post at a soldier in bolts.
Yeah, colorfully vulgar poacher. Right? So this is someone who's taking advantage of other species, right? And he's, in this case, poaching soldiers. I'm going to pull the pulse out of a soldier. Basically another way, just a very clever, poetical way of saying, you know, I'm going to send men to their death. I'm going to take the pulse out of a soldier. This is war bars.
Colorfully vulgar poacher at a mulch like I'm a post at a soldier in bolts. Sign of the
Soldier, bolts, again, man, very like just in there fast, accelerated scheme, but he's got just a lot of internal condensed rhyme schemes, and he's playing off of those strong O sounds with the vowel rhymes.
Poacher at a mulch like I'm a post at a soldier in bolts. Sign of the time we elapse when a primate climb up a spine and attach.
And then he switches from the O's to the I, to the I, to the I, to the I. When a primate climb up a spine and what? Attack? I think he said attach here.
Sign of the time we elapse when a primate climb up a spine and attach.
Makes you think of like a parasite. So we're basically like parasites. Man is a parasite, right? Taking advantage of others.
Sign of the time we elapse when a primate climb up a
Notice like the pigs on his head. Makes me think of like Animal Farm like references. The pigs representing
spine and
greed.
attach.
But it's not like regular pigs. It's like, you know, wild pigs, right? Like warthogs and boars out in the wild. So you're mixing like pigs with boars.
Primate climb up a spine and
Like domestic pigs versus wild pigs. They get a rise out of frogs and flies, out of like us versus them, sort of life being a video game of Atari, frogs and flies versus an eye for an eye. So he likes to take different idioms and different sayings and like flip those into his complex way of maneuvering his words and his just way of writing. And for me, it's all playing into the war game, right? This us versus them, an eye for an eye. Well, they've done something. Now it's quid pro quo in this sense and in this essence. I talk dog fights hog tied, playing off of the animals again, making me think of like Animal Farm references, but a dog fight, like, you know, like World War II, the planes, like dog fighting in the sky, right? Versus hog tied. Again, you have this buttery gold, this relating to sort of swine and being pig-like, right? And food references as well, and consumption, what we're consuming. We're just consuming and over-consuming this violence. For me, for greed.
When a dog fights hog tied, prize sort of cost the life. The mouse water on a fork and knife, and the allure isn't right. No score on a war-torn beach where the cash cows actually beef. Blood turns wine.
Where the cash cows actually beef? That's a really fucking dope line right there, right? It's actually, when you talk about rappers beefing, like we're really beefing. It's all about drama. It's all about beef. Where the cash cow, what makes them the money and where they cash out on, that cash cow that actually pays is literally beef. So a cow to beef versus having beef, stirring drama, making things in life an eye for an eye. There are those who profiteer off of war and off of the blood and the loss of life of our fellow
The allure isn't right. No score on a war-torn beach where the cash cows actually beef. Blood turns wine when a lead for police. Like that's not a riot, it's a feast. Let's and I will remember.
Blood turns wine, right? Which is very different. He's flipping, you know, like the water turning to wine is sort of the biblical references there. In this case, like the blood is what they feast off of. This is what they're cheersing to. This is what they're having a feast. And then he ties in with the police. So then we go to me, like the Huckabees, the politician lines, those who profiteer off of war, and then those domestically who profiteer off of conflict. In this case, police brutality.
Blood turns wine when a lead for police. Like that's not a riot, it's a feast. Let's and I will remember your name and face on the day you were judged by the.
Wow, that was one fucking verse. I'm broken already.
Riot is a beast. Let's and I will remember your name and face on the day you were judged by the funhouse cast. And I will rejoice in your fall from grace when it came to the sky like none shall pass.
You shall not pass! Gandalf standing there in front of the motherfucking Balrog. That makes me think of that, but this is like Judgment Day, isn't it? And the Funhouse cast? God. The Funhouse movie, that was like origins of Squid Games right there. Some social media influencers come together, they play this game, they don't realize they're playing for their lives, and then they have to die horribly, and then there's like the plot twist at the end when the person who won was really collaborating with the psychotic murderer Saul dude the whole time. You're welcome for that synopsis.
None shall pass. None shall pass.
All you greedy motherfuckers out there, the ones I'm calling out in that first verse, your day is coming. Your time is coming on Judgment Day. None shall pass. You will not go through the gates of heaven.
None shall pass. You never had a day of snow cone, could have fixed you whenever late to the road boat, caught a blitz, so we spoke to a no-dose.
You never had a day a snow cone couldn't fix. If you never really struggled, right? If you're giving us, yay, snow cone, life is okay, then you're not really struggling, right? And you can't relate to something about the vocoder. His voice is very unique. It's like running it through a vocoder, isn't it? Snow cone couldn't fix rogue vocoder blitz. Again, like just the multis, man, are so great. The rhyme writing on top of what he's doing metaphorically and just intricacies. No dose motor, like he's popped up on caffeinated pills, but he wouldn't play fetch like fix rhymes with bitch, playing off of that, so he's not conforming. And then speaking through a no-dose to me is like, when you talk about like woke culture and those who were sleeping and we're sleeping on society and we're sleeping on the real issues. So he's speaking through a no-dose. He's giving you these caffeinated pills through his lyrics. Isn't worth a homeowner. So like, the haves versus the have-nots, and Aesop is positioning himself as a have-not, and he's not connected and level with that society and people who lead those lifestyles. King is a what who complies and conforms? So I guess the kings these days are the ones who just follow along with the trends and what's happening. Like really the people that we uplift in our society are probably not the ones we should be uplifting because they're just conforming to what's happening. Swine of the times, right?
The swarm when a king is a who comply and conform. Miles outside of the eye of the storm with a siphon of lore at a prize and award while avoiding the violent bazaar that is violence and war. True blue triumph is more like wait.
Mile outside the eye of the storm. I take that as they're not actually addressing the real issues. They're not really in the eye of the storm yet. We celebrate them. We give them these awards, these accolades, but really they're well out of danger, in harm's way. And again, that could be shots at many politicians, right? That could be shots at the warmongering of society in general, or it could just tie into more the non-conformity that he's trying to preach versus the conformity of mainstream hip-hop, especially in materialist music.
While avoiding the violence.
And also violence that is celebrated within a lot of hip hop.
Bazaar that is violence and war.
Because Aesop is definitely, he's a conscious rapper, extreme conscious rapper, subconscious rapper.
For the lore at a prize and award while avoiding the violent bazaar that is violence and war. True blue triumph is more like wait. Let it snake up out of the centerfold. Let it break the walls of Jericho. Ready go. Sat where the old carport sit.
True blue triumph. Blue, like true blue. Like that's it. It's true blue. There's no denying it. Versus blue is in BLEW. That is just like slid in there wordplay wise. Slithering like a snake from Slytherin right there, my friends. You're a wizard, Harry Aesop. You are a fucking wizard. The walls of Jericho. marched around the city 7 times with the Ark of the Covenant. Then they blew the trumpets, the triumph trumpets. They blew the horns, and then the walls fell down. Again, more religious, biblical references here as they kind of blow the trumpets of violence and war.
Let it break the walls of Jericho. Ready, go. Sat where the old cardboard city folks swap tails with heads like every other penny. And I will remember your name.
Cardboard city folks, like two-dimensional life, but also the homeless people sat on the corner and like giving them a penny. Swap tails with the heads. Swapping tails as in telling stories, those type of tales versus heads and tails. And swapping tails with the heads could be like the hip-hop heads or the different heads, different people thinking, or like flipping a penny and giving people your sense, or flipping heads or tails. We don't know which way is right now. Everything's just so discombobulated and fucked up as we try to navigate our way through society in this picture that Aesop is painting us. He's rocking my soul.
Let it break the walls of Jericho. Ready, go. Sat where the old cardboard city folks.
Yeah, and the centerfold to me, again, like we're celebrating a very materialistic values and lifestyle, and this is what you need to chase, and these are the kings that we are living.
Like every other penny. And I will remember your name and face on the day you were judged by the funhouse cat. And I will rejoice in your fall from grace.
Remember your name and face.
When it came to the sky like
For me, it's like revenge. It's ultimate retribution here in this
shall
hook.
pass.
All the different people waiting to get through the gates. Take a ticket, please.
None shall pass.
Ah, the scales of judgment balancing.
You've got a lot of nerve. I'm not trying to trick you. I'm trying to help.
Okay, well.
Someone being given their flowers, right?
I'm trying to help.
Okay, woke to a grocery list. Goes like this: duty and death. Anyone object, come stand in the way. You could be my little Snake River Canyon today, and I ran with a chain of commands and a.
Come stand in the way. You could be my little Snake River Canyon today. Like right there. Again, that's a great example of his just style of writing, right? No reference to Evel Knievel except for Snake River Canyon. But if you know Evel Knievel's story, you know like he tried to leap Snake River Canyon and it did not go so well for him. So you could be my failure today. Come on, step up. He's got a grocery list that he's going through right now.
Stand in the way. You could be my little Snake River Canyon.
And then again, duty and death. He's doing a great job sticking with a lot of words that key into this war theme of violence that he plays in.
And I ran with a chain of commands and a jetpack strap with a backstab lands if I can. Sign of the vibe in the crowd.
Chain of commands, right? He made a grocery list, so like a list of commands there, or also like a chain of command is in a military term, following the chain of commands that's laid out for
And
you.
a jetpack strap with a backstab lands if I can. Sign of the vibe in the crowd. When I cut a belly open to find what climb out. With a bit of gusto, we must.
It's like cut her belly open and find what climb out. When the alien is happening here.
Vibe in the crowd. When I cut a belly open to find what climb out. With a bit of gusto, we must erupt to make a dark horse rush like enough's enough. It must have struck a nerve, so they huff and puff. The Lord of Kings men flustering. And it's a beautiful thing. To my people who keep it impressive.
All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty back together again, and they huff and they puff. Makes me think of the Three Little Pigs. So we're getting back to nursery rhymes. It's simple. They're childish with their mind
The
frames.
Lord of Kings men.
And then the dark horse rush, like enough's enough. Maybe he is positioning himself as a dark horse. They don't see him coming, the
Make
non-conformist.
a dark horse rush like enough's enough. It must have struck a nerve, so they huff and puff. The Lord of Kings men flustering. And it's a beautiful thing. To my people who keep an impressive wingspan, even when the cubicle shrink. You gotta pull up the intruder by the root of the weed. And
People who keep an impressive wingspan, even when the cubicles shrink. That 9 to 5 cubicle, you stay free. You stay outside of it. Don't conform and don't follow that corporate slavery life. Come on.
impressive wingspan, even when the cubicle shrink. You gotta pull up the intruder by the root of the weed and march you through the machine. And I will remember your name and face on the day you were judged by the funhouse cat.
Chew through the machine, right? Raging against the machine, going against the system, the machine in that case. That's what I take it as, chew through the machine.
And I will remember.
And this beep is like leave a message after the tone, like that type of beat that's just caked into the instrumentation and production.
You
It's
gotta pull
wild.
up the intruder by the root of the weed and march you through the machine. And I will remember your name and face on the day you were judged by the funhouse cat. And I will rejoice in your fall from grace when it came to the sky.
Some people are snakes, some people are rats, some people are sharks in the water. Other people just want to rock the fuck
Shall
out.
pass.
dope playlist sample right here. Just like vocally, just like chopped up into the mix.
None shall pass.
I'm trying to help. I'm trying to help.
Go backwards.
I'm trying to help.
Started as a lion, brave, turned into a pig and greedy. People change over times after they're judged. Wow, yeah, you just get like some serious surrealist vibes. Like that's it. Like he's like a Dali of rap. It's the way that I can put Aesop Rock. But for me, he's a very good rhyme writer when he wants to be. He's an amazing lyricist. And like I did just a basic breakdown. That took me 20 minutes. I mean, shit. We could really sit here and like psychoanalyze each and every line because that's how just multi-layered it is, and have a discussion about it, about what we think it is and what some of the symbolism represents and stretches out to, and talk about some of the clever wordplay and just wording of stuff. And we could be here for hours, man. That's the nature of this dude. But hopefully it just gives you a little bit of a preview and a look into what an amazing MC he truly is. Aesop Rock, you were Knox certified. Hope you guys liked today's video. Listen, for some reason you're here at the end. Obviously, enjoying the content. Do me a huge favor. Support the channel directly. Subscribe, notifications on. Brother, it does go a long way. I love you guys. Stay safe, stay positive. This one, Knox Hill. No, I'll catch you again.